What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 14 and it's the season finale as we play our final two games in the Premier League. Right, as you can see, after simulating through to the weekend fixtures, West Ham's defeat at Stamford Bridge in midweek confirms it. We are currently 8 points clear of David Moyes' side with 2 games to go. So on the back of our win against Southampton, we knew it was basically all over last weekend, but now it is mathematically officially guaranteed. Brentford is staying in the top flight after what has been one of our most challenging seasons and challenging opening seasons to a career mode in the top flight ever. I gotta be honest, man, I mentioned before, this FIFA Ultimate Difficulties had a major improvement heading into this year from last year. Ultimate at times in the previous versions of FIFA could be quite easy to exploit at certain times if you knew what to do against the AI when defending and how to get yourself opportunities. This year things have completely changed. It's been such a tough season for Brentford, so believe me, survival's in the bag with 2 games to go, and I'm absolutely buzzed. With 2 games to go though, we had our final away day at Goodison Park against Everton for Leeds at home on the final game of the season, and I wanted to close out the season strong as well. It has been a relatively tough run towards the end of the season, really a tough run all season long to be honest, and I wanted to have back-to-back wins and 3 wins in a row to close out the campaign. Heading into the game though, Everton would take the lead, then Jordan Pickford made a couple of fantastic saves to keep it at 1-0, but from the corner, keeping the chance alive, and Buemo whips it in, and as Allen heads clear, Pratt takes it down on the chest, and Sean Pratt with his first goal in professional football. I didn't know how to celebrate. I really regret not going to the away fans that will buy the corner flag, but Sean Pratt's first goal of the season is a memorable one, though unfortunately when I watched it real time after I released the circle button, I was like, oh my god, goal of the season. Then I watched it back on the replay and I was like, Jordan Pickford, bro, when's your next optician appointment? Because I'd move it forward if you can. Yeah, I don't exactly know what Pickford was doing there. The former Sunderland goalkeeper totally lost flight of the ball as it looped over his head and into the back of the net. Yeah, I mean, it's a decent strike, it's a clean hit from Pratt, but let's be honest here, it's pretty poor goalkeeping as well. So Brentford back on level terms. Ray made a great save before the break to keep us in front, and then after the restart, 19 minutes into the second half, and Buemo gets our second goal to put us in front for the first time in the game. Once again, question marks possibly over Pickford's goalkeeping there. He made an amazing save in the first half, but probably could have saved both of our goals as we were now leading by a goal. But unfortunately with 3 minutes to go, we couldn't hold on to a victory in our final away there this season. Alexander Isak runs all the way to Rafa Benitez to celebrate an absolute thunderbolt of an effort in a 2-2 draw. So yeah, cracking 4-goal thriller in our final away there this season. I had to show you it again. Oh my goodness, Jordan Pickford strayed so far off his line there. God knows what he was doing, but hey, it was Sean Pratt's first goal in professional football. You know I'm going to be pleased with that one, however he scores it. So yeah, 2 to the final score. Fantastic 4-goal thriller, and not a bad result in the grand scheme of things away at Goodison Park as well. As you know, to start the season off, Everton were really struggling. They were in the bottom 3 for a while. Now they're certified to finish in mid-table, but even so, a 2-2 draw is not bad there. I'll certainly take that, some positives, and definitely towards the end of the season, we have been scoring a lot more goals as well, which is really nice, because we know starting the season off, that was our Achilles heel. So a little league table on the final day with 4 teams going for the title. Liverpool and Spurs only separated by a goal, and then both Manchester clubs only a point behind. As we know, we're guaranteed to be safe. Lowest we can finish is 16th place, and on the final day with Norwich and Watford already down, West Ham need to win on the final day, but if Burnley match their result, then the Clarets will stay up. Well, Sean Dyche's Clarets will stay up. So yeah, really dramatic end to the season. You know, the Europa Conference League and Europa League spots are set, but again, 4 teams separated by a point on the final day going for the title. When was the last time? Has there ever been a time in Premier League history when 4 teams have a shot of winning it and are only separated by 1 point on the final day? Surely not, right? But thankfully for our game, again, nothing to play for. Leeds on the final day. If we were to lose this game, Leeds would leapfrog us in the table, and we're guaranteed to finish no higher than 14th. And if Brighton and Crystal Palace would win, we would drop to 16th place. And unfortunately, I just didn't really turn up on the final day. You know, it was the final home game of the season. You always want to win your final game at home in the campaign. Bow out in front of your home fans will win. But I didn't leave close to winning this game, man. I'll be totally honest. Got dominated by Leeds from start to finish, really. Alfredo Morelos set up one and got a goal late on as well in what was a 3-0 drubbing from Leeds United at home. So yeah, that was as disappointing as it gets for a final game at the community stadium. I think it's mainly because again the job was done, so I was kind of like, yeah, you know, final day of the season, nothing to play for. Sort of was really complacent, I guess, not really understanding that if nothing else, I do want to put in a good shift. Yeah, it was just a really poor game, all things considered. Didn't really get going at all, and in the end, a 3-0 loss was the final score. So there's the final Premier League table for you. Then Liverpool were champions by a single goal. Spurs runners up, and both Manchester clubs in the third and fourth final spots in the Champions League. Chelsea, Arsenal, and Leicester are in the Europa and Europa Conference Leagues for next season. But for Brentford, you have to say, for a first season, despite dropping to 14th, as West Ham did avoid the drop on the final day, winning away at Brighton, and Burnley going down to Championship alongside the Canaries and the Hornets as well. 14th place, 42 points. But I will be honest here, it was like we did well, don't get me wrong, to survive by a few points too, and do it with a couple of games to spare, but we had the third worst defensive record in the division, and at the start of the season I said I wanted to be in the top 10 for defending, and we were the lowest scorers in the division as well. So 14th doesn't sound quite as good when you add in those facts as well. Yeah, it's a good season, don't get me wrong. It's Jordan Pickford, by the way. He got 5 assists this season. One of the most bizarre things to happen all campaign long. Pickford setting him up with 5 assists as Salah won the Golden Boot this year, Lloris won the Golden Glove, and Ronaldo was second in the Golden Boot race this year in his first season back in the Premier League. But yeah, to be fair, despite the goal scoring woes, that's something I need to improve on next season. Listen, Ivan Toney got into the top 10 for goal scoring, and I'm buzzing about that, but at the end of the day, I need a strike partner with him that's going to bag in some goals as well. I think the goal scoring was my main concern this season. I'm actually quite surprised how poor my defending was as well, because start the season off, I was defending really well. I think it's just once I jumped to 6-minute half lengths, that's when I saw both things increase, both scoring and conceding goals as well, as Salah won player of the tournament. But as for the other competitions, the Carabao Cup was won by Manchester United this year, who of course not sat in the quarterfinals. Leicester retained their FA Cup this year, winning it back-to-back under Brendan Rodgers. PSV won the inaugural Europa Conference League this year. RB Leipzig were Europa League winners, beating Inter Milan. And how about that? Manchester City avenging their demons of last season, beating Liverpool in another all-English final to win their first ever Champions League. A bit of a bug there with the Europa Conference League background, but there you go. As for other leagues as well, Sheffield United and Fulham have an instant return to Premier League football for next season. Bournemouth, West Brom, Birmingham, and I just missed a team that are going into the playoffs this season. As for Ligue 1, how about this? PSG. Back-to-back seasons where they failed to win it. Is the dominance over for Paris Saint-Germain in France? Marseille winners of Ligue 1. Bayern Munich, no such problems in Germany. Still the best team in Germany, winning the Bundesliga this season. As for the Serie A, Inter retain their title with Milan runners-up this season and Juventus in third as well. And for La Liga, no such problems. The Catalan Giants in the game. Barcelona champions this year. Sevilla runners-up and Real Madrid in third place this season. Atletico failing to make the top 4. So yeah, for our first season with Brentford, I've got to say, even though admittedly there were some really big negatives, the lack of goals was of course the biggest low of the season. You think about what we did on the pitch. 14th place, you know, our objective this season was just to finish above the drop zone. We did that with a couple of games to spare. In the FA Cup, we went one round further than the board asked. They went around to 16. We got to the quarterfinals, only to be knocked out by Arsenal. Even though it doesn't count as a board objective, we still got to the EFL Cup quarterfinal as well. So that's pretty impressive in our first season. 2 last 8 finishes in both domestic cups. And again, in the Premier League, 14th place as well. Again, there were some real negatives this season, particularly in front of goals, but still, it's a good season. I'm calling this a good season with Brentford. Listen, it wasn't a solid 10 out of 10. It wasn't perfection. But to me, it's a good season. I'm calling it a solid 8 out of 10. It's not your dream girl, but believe me, you wouldn't say no to it. It's an 8 out of 10 this season with Brentford. I'm certainly taking it home with me. This has been a decent campaign at the Community Stadium in our first year in the Premier League. So to end the campaign off, as you can see, we run through our academy. The future looking really bright here with Brentford. So many great young talents from Denmark, Wales, and also England picked up this year. And as Transfer players did also come the end of the year. 5 players are going, including Zanka, the most noteworthy, but I did give 2 new contracts to Dominic Thompson, who scored our first goal of the season, of course, young left-back, formerly of Arsenal, and also Finn Stevens as well, 61 rated Welsh right-back. I'm not sure what his potential will be, but could be alright for the future. We know how crucial full-back/wing-backs are this year, so gave him a new contract. Charlie Ball, by the way, I promoted from the academy recently. As you can see now, he's 60 overall. We've got the exciting prospect tag on Charlie Ball. So I've said before, he looks like one of the most exciting players at the academy. So I'll try and give him some game time next year, if not loan him out. Sean Pratt had a great come into the team this season as well. Played 8 games competitively, scored that goal against Everton, and got 2 clean sheets, 1 in every 4 games. That's pretty impressive for the 17-year-old with the potential to be special. Ryan Niambe, our new signing, grew 5 ratings this year, was ever present in our team, playing 35 games and bagging 3 assists to go alongside it as well. Wissa, very underrated this year as well, 7 goals and 5 assists in 27 games as well. But of course, I run you through the team here. The standout player of the season, I don't need to do an award ceremony for this because everyone knows who it would be. And Buemo with the 4 goals and the 4 assists, Jakobsen with the 2 goals and 2 assists as well. But Ricky J. Jones, by the way, 5 goals and 20, not bad for the teenager, 1 in every 4, but not quite as good as his mentor, Ivan Toney, growing 3 ratings to 79 overall. And as you can see, 14 in 38 games in the Premier League for Ivan Toney. And again, don't forget, he was in the top 5 for assists this season as well. So for our first season with Brentford, it's a solid 8 out of 10. We survived. There's loads of positives, but still loads of work to do as we head into the new season. We're going to be very busy in the summer transfer window. I'm excited to find out how much money we've got to work with in our transfer budget. That might put some limitations on my transfer targets, but very excited to make some signings in the new season and give us the best possible chance of maybe, just maybe, breaking into the top 10 next year. But it went in today's episode and the season 1 of Career Mode, guys. Big thank you for watching if you have enjoyed it. And if you have enjoyed the first season, then please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. And I'll see you for the new season of Career Mode. Don't miss it very soon.